my name is Zenin, and this is my project named by car distance sensor in here. And sorry I take the mask because I'm doing the outside. And I just want to show you how the basic components and the main function here. So, yeah. And this is a car adapter because we use the USB connection, and the car we want to convert to the USB to the smoker heater. And then I plug this in and everything connect okay. This can supply the main power and enough current to supply the Arduino system. So this is the on and off switch. You can see it's turned off, then it's turned on. And this can control the brightness for the LCD screen and why go to this more bit. And this can clearly say remember to drive life. This just a kind reminder for the driver during the driving. And this for the volume because there have a speaker in here. When the distance sensor measure the object is really close, and the speaker will make some voice and to remind the driver about each side have some close object or the man or the car. And let's talk about the joystick. So the joystick have four main functions in here. So when you press the joystick, the screen may be to show the temperature instead of the reminder, and the temperature is measured by the temperature sensor, and it can just check the temperature in the inside the car. And when you turn left, it can seems like the screen show up the drive model, and it actually to detect the left distance. And the same way as the right, as you can see this time is the right distance sensor is working and to measure the distance from the right hand side. And the same way as just the bike, because this the bike function turning work. I want to continue to introduce all the main components in my Arduino system. Okay, I take the voltage off for safety, and you can see this is a durable hard case buy online, and it's kind of very useful to protect all the main components and system. And you can see one interesting thing is I combine the case with the bottom, because if I want to find somewhere to put my system here, the best place is the water bottom place. Yeah, it's really fixed. Okay, then I want to talk about the top bottom. It's kind of like all the main controller and the output. So one thing we talked about earlier is the LCD screen. It combines some screws and fixes in the top of the case. And this is just a joystick. Because I turned the voltage off, so it didn't show up anything from the distance sensor. But you can literally can see how the distance sensor work. And the potentiometer is control the LCD screen, the brightness of the LCD screen, and the RGB LED is can truly to turn the red, yellow, green, and blue. Because I don't want to use any blue color in here, so I didn't connect any blue color to the pins. This potentiometer is control the speaker volume, and this is just a simple on and off switch. Okay, then I turn on this case. Yes, and you can clearly see what's some components in here. So let's talk about from right to the left. This is the DC motor fan. So because our joystick have another function is when I press down, the temperature inside the car will be measured for this system. And I put a code about when the temperature is over 22 22 degrees Celsius, the fan will turn on. Because I want to use the fan to reduce the temperature inside the system. It also will protect all the main components. Okay, and this blue one is called by Arduino MECH307 R3. You can see it here is a USB connector, and because I have a adapter in the car, so it can use this to connect in and to get the voltage supply. And you can also to connect your computer which have the USB, and when you want to update any code or make some anything change, you just click into the computer, then you can go into update your code. And you can see there is a couple line here, and this blue line, just as I mentioned about, this is for the RGB blue color, because I don't want to use it, so I just keep it in here. Okay, and this I buy some speaker. Yes, it's also connect to the Arduino MECH board and the breadboard. So yeah, and go to the base blue one is thermometer. Okay, so it will measure the inside car's temperature, and this will use the code to connect with the fan as also the LCD screen. When this measure the temperature, it will decide whether the fan turn on and off, and the LCD will show the measured temperature into the screen. I think there is everything in here. Okay, so this is the all main components in my Arduino system, and then I turn this. Okay, yeah, you can see there have a couple purple and white line and going to outside, and because the MECH307 have the limited of the pins, so I have to bring a new breadboard to connect with the voltage and the ground, and this the purple and white line is connected to the 3 breakout board, and this 3 black line will continue to go into the waterproof distance sensor. The reason I buy to the waterproof sensor, because this will finally put it to the outside of the car if the day is rainy, so the waterproof will protect this distance sensor. It's continue to working during the rainy day, snowy day. It's really useful function about the sensor. Okay, and the breakout board can convert to the distance sensor signal to the digital signal, and finally saving the MECH307 main board. That's all the main components. Thanks for the watching. Okay, so let's continue to talk about the distance sensor working. And before I talk about this, let me double check everything going okay. Yes, it seems all good, and the code working and the brightness working. Okay, and then I will show how the control volume switch work. And because all the 3 main function for the sensor is really similar, and I just want to take an example for the back, and you all can see how the back sensor and same as all the sensor working. Okay, so I talk about how the code for the sensor. It seems like when the distance really close, like it's smaller than 30 centimeters, and the LED will turn right. And if the object is going further but still in the right LED section, at first the red LED will continue to show up about the red color, and if the object going further, then the right LED will make a blink, and if it's continue go to the further, the detect section change to the yellow region, then the yellow will continue to blinking, but it's there have a function about that is can like when the frequency of the blinking is depends on the measurement between the object and the car distance sensor. If the distance is continue to going further, the frequency for the blinking is really slow. You can see it later, and then when go back to the safety region, then the LED will turn to the green and all is clear and safety. Okay, let's see how it really work. When holding down, you can see the distance sensor. There have an object in here. It's really close, so the distance in here is 21, and the right LED is continue to lighting. There no any blinking here, and also there have a warning message in the LCD screen. The driver can see that to get the information is about there have some object is really close in here. Okay, and we can try to continue moving this. Okay, so for now you can see that the distance detected is more further, is about the 50 centimeters, and then the RGB LED will turn to the blinking red model. So it's just as I mentioned above. Okay, we can continue to moving further. Okay, it seems like the distance measured from 50 to 77, and for here you can see the yellow LED is really blinking here, and the frequency for the blinking is really fast. And then we can moving further. Okay, we can go back to the frequency. As yeah, it seems like slowly and keep further. Okay, as yeah, you can see the distance number is increasing and the frequency for the right is to the really slow. Then if we go over to the 20 centimeters, then the LED will turn to the green side. And if we continue to moving, yeah, you can see the measuring distance is really reaction in here, and all the distance number will be in recording in here in time, and the LED is still turning green. It didn't change anything. This is basically how the distance sensor working, and I think everything is enough good in here. Okay, let's go back to talk about how the potentiometer to control the speaker volume. I set up the object to the back sensor is really close. You can see everything good in here, but it has a problem in reality is that when we want to check the car about how to close in the car, and about also watching the people, it seems like the voice maybe will influence the people mind, and so I change this. Yeah, you can see what go to turn. The sensor is still working, but the voice is going where. And when I turn up to this, you can see the voice is coming back. Yeah, so it's really useful function for the driver when they don't want any voice to distributing them. You can use this volume control to check any model the driver want. Okay, so here's the actual position for the distance sensor. You can see this is the right position, and the distance can drag out and put this in here. You can see it's really fixed, and there no any chance to drop off or something like that. So basically it's all good in here, and it can also distance the right sensor and the right object. And yeah, we can go back to the back side. You can see here is the same sensor in here. I just used, because the line is really enough, it's very can be connect with the front Arduino system to the backhand side in here. So it's truly enough. Then we can go back to the left side. It's the same position to the right side, just the corner for the car window in hand. And it will also to detect the left distance in here. And you can see this really fixed, and you cannot to pull out easily. So I think finally I want to talk about the final project is everything is clear enough and the safety enough. There's no any safety problem in here, because all the wire and line connection, I used some wiring protector to make them more physics and more stronger, and there's no any like the voltage or the current will go outside and hurt the human body. And okay, so finally, just all the distance sensor can really to make a reality to put them outside, and when the driver just sit into the seat and control the distance system, and to take whatever distance you want, and it's more helpful to help the driver more safety during the driving. Thanks all. That's all the presentation and demonstration here. Thanks for the watching.